Good evening, parents. My name is Felicia Mitchell, and tonight I'll be talking with you about phonological awareness and phonemic awareness and what that all means. Phonological awareness can be thought of as a big umbrella, with the bigger chunks of language being the top of the umbrella. Understanding of different ways that oral language can be divided into smaller components and manipulated. So when we ask students to rhyme or blend small words to make a compound word or break words apart into syllables, we are working at the phonological awareness stage. Now, phonemic awareness is the understanding that spoken words are made of individual sounds called phonemes. A phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that we hear in a word. Phonemic awareness falls underneath that umbrella as a subcategory of phonological awareness. So, for example, the four sounds that you hear in the word plan, p, l, a, n, we can blend to make the whole word plan. Before children learn to read print, they need to become aware of how the sounds in the words work. They must understand that words are made up of individual speech sounds, a phoneme. A child's skill in phonological and phonemic awareness is a good predictor of later reading success or difficulty. The concepts of print refers to the awareness of how print works. This includes the knowledge of the concepts of what books, print, and written language are, and how they function, encompassing a number of understandings that allow the reading process to take place. For instance, understanding that print conveys a message, knowledge about book orientation and the directionality of the print, and the distinction between sentences, words, and letters, and also the knowledge of the alphabetic system and the difference between letters and words. Children's knowledge of a letter, names, and shapes is a strong predictor of their success in learning to read. Knowing letter names such as A, B, C strongly related to children's ability to remember the forms of written words and their ability to treat words as sequences of letters. Vocabulary plays an important part in learning to read. Beginning readers must use the words they hear orally to make a sense of the words they see in print. Phonological awareness is a crucial skill to develop in children. It is strongly linked to early reading and spelling success through its association with phonics. Receptive and expressive language skills, or oral language skills, lay the foundation for future success in reading and writing. These skills develop as children have opportunities to listen and talk with you, the parents, their relatives, their friends, or their caregivers. Children must be able to listen and understand words before they are able to produce words and use them effectively. Early reading comprehension means that emerging readers are able to decode the words and understand the meaning of the text. A common stage regarding reading instruction is that children learn to read until about third grade, and they read to learn for the rest of their lives. Some of the group activities that I've come up with that you can possibly use and that I use in the classroom. And so one of the group activities that I use for print concepts is I would read a short story and then I ask the students what happened at the end of the story. And I also have them draw a picture about the ending. In order to teach letter naming, I use a game called I Spy with My Little Eyes, Letters. So I have them look at a passage and see how many of that letter that I choose that they can find in the passage. In order to do vocabulary and actually teach vocabulary, I have my students, for whatever the letter of the week is, we create a word list for that particular letter. And I see how many words they can come up with that match that letter for the week. And we do this with all our small groups. And then I hang the list up so that the children are able to see all the words that they created using that letter. For phonological awareness, I have the students match a picture to the letter sound. So I'll say B, and then they'll choose pictures to match that sound. And they'll see how many matches that each child can get while they're in that group. Now, the easiest way to teach listening for me is a wonderful game that I like to call Simon Says. With younger children, I use this game as to say, Simon says, ah. Simon says, b. K. Simon didn't say k. So that is a fun game, and it's really easy to be used with children who have disabilities or are not able to function in a hearing environment. But we can use the letters, and we can also use pictures to go along with that. Now, in order for our children to learn how to speak and words to use while they're communicating with others, I'll have the students explain to me what happened in a sequence of cards that are actually telling a story. And in order to teach comprehension, we also use the sequencing cards. But first, we talk about the story. We talk about the beginning, we talk about the middle, and we talk about the end. And then I'll give each student a set of sequencing cards. And I'll ask those students if they can take these cards and put them in order of how the story went. So it'd be from the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so they would be able to look at the sequencing cards and be able to tell me what was happening at the beginning of the story and what was happening at the end of the story. With all of these activities, they're mainly centered around preschoolers and kindergarten. But a lot of these particular activities can be used to help children who have more difficulties. And they can either be broken apart and spread apart and used in smaller group settings or done on a one-to-one individual basis. All these activities are geared towards helping children with their phonological awareness and their phonemic awareness. If you have any other questions or concerns, please contact me at my email, fmitchell@stmartinschool.org, or you can reach me by calling me at 770-714-5859. I thank you so much for your attention this evening as we learn how to better help our early readers. Thank you and have a good evening.